Announcing the move in the National Assembly in Dodoma, the Prime Minister, Mr. Ngopinda, said the suspension could be 1 year or more to enable the government to review the trade and take concrete measures to curb illegal hunting and to make sustainable wildlife trade. Prime Minister was responding to a question on government moves following last year's smuggling of 136 animals and birds of different species, strongly condemned by members of Parliament. On low prices of cotton and few buyers of the crop with valid permits, he said other buyers with financial capacity should be allowed, provided they do not exploit farmers. On subsidized inputs, including fertilizers, Prime Minister Mr. Ngopinda said it was the government's intention to ensure all farmers were covered by the program, which started in Southern Highlands regions.
Students from International and Technological University, Dar es Salaam, are boycotting classes and examinations, pressurizing university management to solve their problems, which include indigenous students being forced to pay their fees in foreign currency. Here's the report.
Speaking at the university, the students said despite forwarding their complaints to the leadership of the institution, there has not been any response. They say the main problem is that the fees charged by the university is way too high compared to other institutions of higher learning in the country. IMTU Students Organization President Jared Chache said the students' body has given its blessings to the strike, while the university authority was not available for comment.
As part of the African Union's AU efforts to assist the victims of the famine in Somalia and the Horn of Africa, the AU Commission has opened a bank account to receive donations from African governments, private sectors, and ordinary citizens. Artists in Tanzania have joined in adding their voices to the call for Africans to act in solidarity and support their sisters and brothers affected by the drought, and are calling on people to express their support.
The producer from Fish Crab Station, and I call on Africans to act for Africa.
Yeah, my name is producer Mona Gangster. Africans, let's act for Africa.
Let's act for Africa.
Let's act for Africa.
Let's act for Africa.
Let's join together and act for Africa.
Let's act for Africa. The future is now.
Members of Parliament have called on the government to review construction of tourist hotels in national parks and other conservation areas in the country, and that if necessary, priority should be given to local investors. Here's the report.
Debating the 2011-2012 budget for the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, they also called for cancellation of licenses of tourist hotels, ignoring to pay fixed concession fees, which made the government to suffer a loss of 26 billion shillings last year. On wildlife animals worth more than 170 million shillings smuggled last year, the legislators urged the government to make a diplomatic protest to Qatar in order to return the animals. This is in addition to dissolving the current committee responsible for allocation of hunting blocks, and existing 180 hunting licenses should also be revoked, and strategies adopted to end poaching, threatening extinction of some wildlife species in the country. On natural resources, the lawmakers said there was need for integrity and nationalism among those responsible for management of the resources, while on tourism trade, they called for mindset change to enable Tanzania to be competitive.
Pastoralists in Losimingori village, Munduli district, Arusha region, have urged the government in collaboration with other stakeholders to educate them on the current constitution. Here's more details on the report.
They said the move offers good opportunity for them to contribute effectively in giving their views on the proposed new constitution when the constitutional reform process begins. They say despite learning from the media that the government intends to change the constitution, they are unaware of what is contained in the current one and its shortcomings. They also said constitutional changes will provide opportunity to pastoralist community members in peripheral areas to get their fundamental rights, including land ownership, to cater for their livestock.
There have been major development strides in Kilimanjaro region following a growing culture among the people on devotion and contribution to development activities in the region. Here's more on the story.
The statement was made by residents and non-residents of the region during a debate on 50 years of independence in the region, also attended by government, political and religious leaders, as well as university students. During the debate organized by Kilimanjaro Regional Commissioner's Office, participants said the region has been an example, as even retired national leaders cited it in construction of improved housing and provision of social services, particularly education, water, health and roads. However, despite its achievements, Moshi Municipal Mayor Jafari Michael said there were still many challenges facing the region, including accountability and patriotism among public workers.
Tanzania will join the rest of the world later next month in marking World Tourism Day with the aim of stimulating awareness of the sector to Tanzanians. Here are the details.
This was said in Dar es Salaam by Charles Lupilia, Chief Executive Officer of the Dar es Salaam Tourism Executive Board.
We are expecting to have a lot of exhibitions and roundtable discussions that aim at promoting local tourism and international tourism in Dar es Salaam. So we invite people to participate during these celebrations.
Now, specifically in Tanzania, the partners in the sector, including the government through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, as well as the Confederation of Tanzania Tourism, the Islam Tourist Executive Board, and Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, thought it is important also to commemorate the day by preparing some activities which are geared towards promoting domestic tourism, specifically taking Dar es Salaam as the destination area.
Mary Kalikawe, a Tanzanian tourist specialist, said the event will be an opportunity to get information on various issues concerning tourism.
So if the people of Tanzania feel that tourism has negative effects, it is when we come together, that's when all the stakeholders come together and are able to produce a voice, a loud voice about what is going on. And that's why we are talking of the clusters. If the tourism cluster comes together, and you find that now there are people who talk about culture, the people who see the value of culture in diversifying tourism around the world, those who see that our culture in Tanzania is very important and we have to preserve it in order to actually promote tourism.
And that is the end of the national news. Stay tuned. Up next is African news after this commercial break.